Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our third webinar in this series. We are happy this morning to have our patent manager, Mr. Jason Wongsan, and we also have Mr. Rayvon Stewart this morning, who is the inventor of Xermosol. So we're in for a treat. Mr. Wongsan is the patent manager at Jaipur, and he's going to tell us a little bit about patent before we go into our discussion with Mr. Stewart. Good morning, Mr. Wongsan. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning, everybody out there in cyberspace. So we're here to discuss patents today, and so I thought I would give a brief background on what a patent is, right? So a patent is basically the rights given by the government to an inventor for the use of an invention so that he can monopolize that invention for a limited period of time. Okay? And under our legislation, that period of time is 14 years. So you have a 14-year monopoly on the use of your invention. Right? The process is involved in such a patent. We basically ask is that you come and you do a search to see if there are any like inventions, because it's possible somebody could have invented something before you, right? Then you prepare your documentation, and then what you will do is you'll have your declaration notarized by a justice of the peace and have your specification documents lodged in the government stamp office at 111 House. Then you bring it to jail. It's as easy as that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Wongsan, for that. Thank you. Uh, we're going to, we're going to meet with Mr. Stewart. Mr. Wongsan, tell us about any invention that is recent that you want to talk about, or anything that Jamaica has recently done, or even the World Intellectual Property Organization.
Well, we are a creative society, so we have people that are constantly creating and innovating. However, what we haven't really grasped the novelty of yet is commercializing that creativity. Right? That's what we need to get. So one of the most recent inventions that I can say that has been commercialized is by a young inventor called Mr. Rayvon Evans, who saw a problem in Flint, Michigan, where people were having water issues. And he came up with a pump where people could have showers. And I think it's called pump and spray. And he came up with a very innovative way to deliver those showers with a bottle of water.
Very interesting.
That's a unique way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Wongsan. Okay, Mr. Stewart, good morning.
Good morning, all.
Hi, Mr. Stewart. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're happy to have you.
And it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, great. So first, tell us who Rayvon Stewart is. And if you share with us what you would like the listeners or the viewers to know about Mr. Stewart.
Well, Raven Stewart is a young Jamaican inventor who passionately cares about Jamaica. I personally think the brain drain of our intellectual resources has continued to show its negative effects on Jamaica, and this is one of the problems that I vowed to solve by by becoming by becoming a nation builder. I do not claim to be special in any way. I just focus on what I have to do and all the problems that I want to solve and pursue them.
Great. Thanks for that response, everyone. So tell us, what inspired you to create Xermosol?
Xermosol was first conceptualized during my time volunteering at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where I got a first-hand view of the harmful effects of bacteria and viruses. But what really concretized this idea in my mind was what we Jamaicans dubbed the dead baby scandal. The aftermath of this dead baby scandal really showed me that we had to do something about the easy spread of bacteria and viruses.
Okay, great. Wonderful response, Mr. Stewart. And for your idea and for being passionate about our Jamaican citizen and also your work and at North about. Can you tell us a little bit about the process like in creating Xermosol?
Process in creating Xermosol wasn't one that was unique for me, or it wasn't completely new, because I had already entered the business model competition and I knew about the business model canvas and the rigorous process that it took to validate an idea and ensure that it's viable to to the economy, right? So going through that process, I understood what it would have taken out of me. But Xermosol was quite a unique case because I had entered the competition previously with an invention that I had actually won with. But Xermosol was quite unique because it took me out of my comfort zone where I started having to meet persons from the medical field, from engineers, manufacturers. So it was quite unique. Meeting these people really showed me that I had something new and unique. So I had to now turn my attention to education in terms of intellectual property rights because all entities were actually saying to me that you need to get this protected.
Okay, so tell us what were some of the challenges that you faced? And I know that you would have probably faced challenges in creating the Xermosol. What challenges did you face and what steps did you take to overcome those challenges?
In the initial stages, I faced a number of crippling challenges. One of the most noteworthy challenge was actually finding persons who believed in my dream of changing the world one door handle at a time. It was not until my coach and mentor, Novlet Cook, came on board that the ship started actually sailing. And now I can see that dream actually coming to a reality. Other persons have come on board since, persons such as Kirkland Rowe, Kevoy Smith, Andre Craig, and Mrs. Keisha Harriet. And together we have built a happy and powerful team, and we are going towards big things.
Wonderful. We're happy to hear that. And it's also very inspiring to know that you can have a great idea and have persons you can share it with, and those persons are able to lend a hand and to give that support that you need to get into where you are today. So that's great. So what advice would you give to anyone who has a desire to create a product?
The advice that I would give is not to just focus on creating a product, but focus on creating a business. Secondly, I would advise them to read widely and find a mentor, someone who can get them from step A to Z.
Okay, so you said you've read widely. So can you share with us some of the material that you have read in creating Xermosol?
So, some of the materials that I've read include books like Business of the 21st Century, Think and Grow Rich, How to Influence People and Win Friends, if that's the title. But I've read a lot of books which has actually put me in the position that I am today, and it has led me to a great mentor who is actually working closely with me. So, these are some good titles to actually check out, guys.
Thank you so much for sharing the titles of those books. Can you be mentioning your mentor? Can you tell us a little bit more about her?
Novelet Cook, she's an awesome individual. I can tell you that she's an awesome, patient individual because before I met her, Rayvon Stewart was not the young man that you see here sitting before you today. I lacked confidence. I lacked a lot of things. I lacked it all. But meeting Novelet Cook, she has driven confidence in me. She has shown me the potential. She has shown me that the world is just so big and we can explore, we can do new things every single day. So coming from in St. Andrew up in Blue Mountains, you know, it's not easy for persons up there and coming from a background like that, you're not used to certain things. You're not used to people telling you, hey Rayvon, there's a big world out there, it's bigger than the actual community. So with Mrs. Novlet Cook showing me the world and actually assisting me in traveling across the world, we have actually traveled to places together across the world. It has been a beautiful experience. She has taken Xermosol from 0 to 1 million. She has done so many things for me as a mentor and a coach, and I really look up to her.
That was beautiful, Mr. Stewart. That was beautiful. And I'm sure the
Yeah.
persons would love to have a mentor as wonderful as Miss Cook, as you just described her. And I am aware that Miss Cook is on here as well. So I'm going to ask her to unmute her mic and just to give us some tips as well in terms of how to be a good mentor. As Mr. Stewart shared with us the great job that you have done with him. So can you share with us how some of the tips that you have implemented as a mentor and to also assist other persons become great mentors? It's good.
Giant.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, I think I lost some of your questions.
Okay, so I was asking you that to tell us some tips, share with us some tips of being a great mentor because Mr. Stewart really just laid that foundation of him being a fantastic person. I could see his smile right now. We're seeing how big the smile is, and it means that you have been a great influence in his life. And so we're asking you to share with our participants this morning some of the tips that you would give for becoming a great mentor.
Well, first of all, we're part of the University of Technology Jamaica entrepreneurship, based in entrepreneurship. I just demitted office as program director. My term of duty has ended, so to speak. It's a part of my job to mentor young entrepreneurs because I am the module coordinator for Ventures 1 and Ventures 2, which are modules that start the students with an idea and take them right to commercialization of that idea. So Raven came into the business model competition and I was co-chair of the business model competition. And therefore I simply used the skills that I had acquired from mentoring the students in the business model competition and also in the program to help Raven, who was not an entrepreneur student. The first thing I personally believe as I mentor Raven and other students is that you must believe in the product that is before you. You must see the worth of the product, the value of the product to correct a real problem in society. I don't tend to mentor students with products that don't have potential. If they don't, then I ask them to tweak the product some one way or another, so that we can get it to, to a product with high demand, a product that persons will want to buy, and will make some changes in the world or in individuals' life as they um, utilize that product. The worst thing you can do is to push a bad product to the market, and that's one of the things we didn't do. When Raven was talking about reading, Raven, we paid for the ISO 9001 standard, which is there were many pages in that, and Raven had to read it along with Mr. Rowe so that we were going along the right line in the innovation of Xermosol. So you must truly believe in the product. You must love research yourself. If you don't like to research, then your mentee will not like to research. Mentoring persons too is also seeing the value in them, being impartial. We see a lot of things happening in the world because people are prejudiced about where people are from and what their potentials are because of where they're from. But if you're truly going to mentor someone, you must sort of develop a relationship with that person that you see that the person themselves is valuable. This is a creative young man. He might be in Blue Mountain, but for the second time, he's coming up with an idea that society would want and that would be good for society. So those are the three main elements. One, do not mentor someone unless you truly believe in the product and you would promote the product, you would use the product yourself. Two, I'm waiting for Xermosol to be on my own door and I can't wait and that of UTech offices. Two, you you must love research and you should train those you mentor to love research. When you bring a product to the market, it shouldn't be a bad product. It should be a product that is going to work and its efficacy should be proven. And of course, consumers must want it. And if it's a good product, they will. And thirdly, value the person you mentor.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cook. So just to reiterate, believe in whomever you're mentoring, encourage them to research, and also value that individual. Very profound. Thank you so much for sharing. Now back to you, Mr. Stewart. How did you learn about intellectual property rights?
Though it is at the University of Technology, it is mandatory for all faculties to do some form of entrepreneurship courses. And those entrepreneurship courses all entails some amount of intellectual property rights, which automatically points us back to the Intellectual Property Office of Jamaica.
Okay, so you learned about the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office while at UTech.
Yes, yes, I did.
And so since you learned about it, did you explore more about, did you go on the website? Tell us a little bit of what you saw, or how did you come in contact with Jaipur? Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, I must say Jaipur has an excellent team. The staff, they are great. I must say that because doing my patent, they actually assisted Xermosol a lot, back and forth, and they never complained once. So I must thank you guys for that. So even the business model competition, whether it might be UTech business model competition or the national business model competition, they always implore students to copyright, to patent, etc. And the Jaipur website has always been my main go-to due to the fact that I know that this is managed by the government themselves, so this data is always up to date. And my team has always made it a priority to go to the seminars that Jaipur often keeps. In fact, we were at one of the seminars like a few months ago, so it's a plus with the seminars.
Okay, great. Thank you for that response, Mr. Stewart. And I'm happy that you pointed that out because it's really important, for Jamaicans to tune into the different sessions and
Mhm.
seminars conducted by Jaipur because it's only about improving and educating us. So thank you for that and for encouraging our citizens to also tune in.
No problem.
What advice would you share with a creative person, someone who is creative? What advice would you share with them?
I would just tell them to let the creativity flow and more importantly, keep in mind that there's no such thing as a self-made millionaires because us as creative persons, we have these beautiful ideas where we think that, oh, hey, we're going to get rich overnight. That's not how it works. Just let the creativity flows and most importantly, build a team around you. someone who knows how to build on your ideas and take the product or the business to its maximum potential. And also that competitions are very important. So if there's a competition, you should enter it, but do not focus on just winning, because with Xermosol going through competitions, I can tell you that the winners aren't always the winners.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Mr. Stewart. Indeed, I
Welcome.
said that you mentioned persons being a part of your team. Can
Mhm.
you tell us, is there anyone specific, like a role model, separate apart from Miss Cook? What about friends and family? Have you received that support from them?
Yeah, always, always. My family has always been behind me 100%. They are a small business family. They they do a lot of small business, whether it might be a shop or they have chickens or whatever. I'm from a small business background. They do a lot of farming, so I want to take that to the next level. So even though they're always messaging me, asking how's Zermosol doing. They're always all over Zermosol, believe me.
Okay, great. So I see that the business is running the genes, man. So you are also working towards those business ventures. Okay, great. What do you have any advice that you would like to share as the world is facing this COVID-19 pandemic? Would you share with the world?
You know, I would tell persons during this COVID pandemic to just continue taking precautionary measures, be calm, and of course, use Zermosol to reduce and prevent the transfer of harmful pathogens like COVID-19.
Okay. Thank you so much for that response, Mr. Stewart.
No problem.
Really appreciate that. Also, heard when you mentioned the importance of research and reading. So even at this
Mhm.
time, we will also add that we encourage others to read and to find creative ways and ideas as you have found in creating your thermostat. So we thank you so much this morning for all that you've shared with us. Very beneficial. And
Mhm.
right, so we thank you so much this morning for sharing. We have
It's my pleasure.
okay, and we have Mr. Wangsan beside me again. I just wanting to tell us a little bit more about PCT as well as anything else you would like to share with our participants on patent.
Okay, so, well, I'm sure Mr. Stewart knows about PCT, but one of the key things about the PCT is that it will be an avenue by which Mr. Stewart can actually file his patents in different jurisdictions outside of Jamaica. So it's an international treaty that will allow you to make multiple applications across different regions. And this will be useful as he tries to take his invention to the world. So this particular treaty will be um, available to him once we start new legislation. Hopefully, we will be able to do that shortly. And we are diversify the inventions, right? So I mean that's one of the key things about our new law. Our new law has already been passed. It's just to be enacted now. So we are looking for forward to having even more robust and a more diverse IP system for inventors to utilize and make good on their inventions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Wangsan. Mr. Stewart, can you tell us for our participants where can we get the Xermosol?
We're actually in manufacturing process. We actually have device for persons who have already pre-ordered. So we have those. So The device would be officially ready in about the middle of July, I think, for other persons, but we only have for those who have pre-ordered, such as the University Hospital of the West Indies, or whether it might be PAJ, or so it will be ready within the next month.
Okay, great. Fabulous. You're on track, man. You're doing a wonderful job. That's
Yeah,
great.
we're working towards it.
Right. So again, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you to all our participants this morning for joining in this discussion. We just want to point out that in Jamaica we have persons who are very creative, to not to Mr. Stewart, who has done a fabulous job with Xermosol, and also encourage other persons to be creative. We also encourage you to visit our website, www.jip.gov.jm. There are a number of information on the website on different intellectual property rights. So feel free to read during this COVID period. You have a lot of time, so you can always go on the website and read and get additional information. So again, thank you for joining us. And for the next, see, do we have any questions from any participants before I wrap up the discussion? Okay, so I don't see where we have any questions. So I just want to thank you again, participants, for joining us this morning. And we invite you to join us again on the 16th, where we'll be looking at copyright, COVID, and the church, which will be a panel discussion. So we will also share the link again, and we invite you to be a part of that discussion. Again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart, for accepting to join us in this discussion. And thank you so much, Mr. Manson, for also joining us this morning.